Right, so I'm just going to tack this down. So I've got needle and thread, this piece, we've got the wire inside, so I've sewn all that in, you know how to do that. I'm just going to tack this sort of edge down here. So just fold them in a little bit. I'm not pushing it completely flat. I just want a little bit of a lip. And then I'm going to sew it. There's a little bit down here still, I can always trim that off later. I'm just sewing it about 1 centimetre in underneath the wire. So I just go from the back through, back again. The first couple of stitches I can just make sure it's all secure. So that's secure. Now I'm going to jump just about 1 inch along. So I'm going along and I'm just going to jump and then I'm going to come back out again. So my stitch on this side, the main side that you're going to see, is tiny little stitch, and the main stitch, the big stitch, is on the inside. So I'm just jumping along about 1 centimetre down. Jump along again. Now this one I can do a bit tighter because I don't mind it's going to be quite flat because you know, we're putting the lining in and everything, and I just want it to roll over a little bit, that's all. But if you want more of a roll here and you don't want to be completely flat, then you don't have to pull it together really, really tight. So sometimes I don't pull it together really, really tight, but for this one it's fine. So jumping along, come back through, tiny stitch. Actually, I'm going to cover this as well, aren't I? We're going to cover this one in fabric. Jump along, back again. I just have to be careful about this little top bit here because I've got shorter cinnamon right at the top here where the point is. The reason why we tack it down is because you don't want these bits coming out at the end of the day, you know, and coming through the hat or through the lining or making it look a bit messy. So we want to just tack these bits down. And I sew everything. I don't use any glue at all because it looks messy. It can seep through the hat. Doesn't look too good. Okay, all tacked down. Now let's see. I want a little bit as well because I think it'd be nice to actually put the same on this one. So we want to make sure we got enough. And this is stretchy. I want 1 inch either side to go underneath, underneath here, underneath here, here. Okay. And then we can just chop excess off. We can always chop more off later. A good thing to do would be to pin it. I just keep doing things straight off, and I've got to remember that you've never done it before, so you want to pin things in place, not just always do it by eye. That's better, so it won't slip about too much. And just go around trimming. Always use paper scissors because this will blunt your fabric scissors. Always fiddling with it, make sure you're cutting it so you've got enough. If you want 1 inch, you can always cut some more off later, but if you start with 1 inch, then, you know, when you're pulling it around, you won't find that you've got too little. Okay, and then the next bit. Can go on that one as well, and then that's to go inside after. So we've got that now here, and then we want to pull it. So I just take out that pin. So I've got a pin at the front and a pin at the back. And I'm just going to pin the sides as if I was blocking it. It's all stretchy, so it will stretch nicely. I'm just going to pin, pull and pin either side there. Then I'll do my back. There, and then my front. Working nicely, excuse me, got to sneeze. And then we've got all our corners to think about. So same as when we're blocking the hat, we could just pull it straight down and then pull a little bit into the sides. You don't want to pull so much that it starts sort of trying to pull back and it hasn't got anything to pull back, and then the hat starts collapsing inside and it starts squishing together because it's just too tight. You know, you're not wrenching it, you're just gently pulling, stretching, pushing under and pinning. And just maneuver it, wriggle it a little bit and just maneuver it until it's all sitting nicely without too many pleats. So I've got a pleat there. Can you see that on my top? I've just got a little pleat here. So with that, I can take that pin out. I can just wriggle it around a little bit until it goes under nicely. Now I've just got a big pleat here. Just wriggle. Pins everywhere. And then this corner, just two more little corners left. That one was easy. Again, when you're sewing it, you'll just have to sort of make sure it's okay and stretch it a little bit. And you can put, if you want to, a demotte fabric underneath here. If you want a kind of a padded, heavier feel, you could put a demotte fabric, which is sort of a fluffy, it's like, it looks like calico, it's white, but it's not as rough as that. It's much more fluffy and it stretches everywhere. So any direction. So that's really nice to put underneath. Especially if you're using buckram, then you need to definitely put a demotte fabric underneath. But with this, it's okay. But if you're finding that you're seeing rough bits because of the cinemae, then you can put something, a demotte or some sort of fabric underneath it. But that's really nice now. How lovely and shiny is that? It's wonderful. And then we've got our back, which is all pleated. You know, you've got all these bits. So we're going to tack that down, and I don't need to show you that because it's the same way as how I've just tacked in the cinemae. So big stitches on the inside, little stitches on the outside. So big stitches inside, tiny stitches on the outside so you don't see it. So I'm just going to tack that down. Also put it on this one, so that'll be your inside bit, and then pick some flowers, feathers, things to go on, and then I'll sew it on with you. Okay, see you in a sec.